Hello, I'm Sierra Treasure Hunter, and I'm going to teach you how to make this pendant with 2 cabochons. The wire I'm using for the base is 16 gauge, and I'm using approximately 1.5 feet of wire just to be safe. My weaving wire is 24 gauge. Both wires are dead soft, and I'm going to be using the sumac weave, which is basically a single loop around each base wire and then 1 loop around both of them. And then you repeat the pattern until you have the length that you need. So this first step is going to be weaving in the bail. Every once in a while, I like to take my pliers and put the weave together, make it nice and tight, and then continue weaving. In this tutorial, there will be pausing points, and it just means that I'm going to speed it up and skip forward a little bit because it's very repetitive. So you can go ahead and pause, and when you have about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of this weave, you can come back and continue. So now we're going to work on the back of the pendant, technically. This is going to be what I call a fishtail weave, and it's 2 loops around one wire and then 2 loops around the other wire, going back and forth until you reach the widest point of your gemstone, which I'll show you in a minute. Every once in a while, you want to grab your gemstone and see where you are. Here, I'm just going to go to the widest point of this one. It's a teardrop shape, but you can do it with any shape cabochon. Just, we're going to flare out to the widest point. And go ahead and pause and meet back with me when you're ready. So on oval cabochon, you would go to the center and do this step so it would look more like a diamond shape in the back. These pliers are flat nose pliers, and the brand is Slimline. I got them from Rio Grande for around $5. We're going to finish this fishtail weave all the way to the end. And don't worry about neatness in this part. It's kind of difficult to taper in. You can go ahead and pause and meet me when you're ready. Now I like to finish the end with the sumac weave because it's nice and tight, and then just repeat the pattern around 3 times. Try to snip your wire on the inside of where your gemstone will lay. The cutters I use are called flush cut shears, and they're from the brand Xuron, Xuron. They're around $11. So now we are going to form the first part that we weaved into our bail, where we hang the pendant from a chain. The pliers I'm using are Slimline round nose pliers. These pliers are called Tweezer nose pliers from the same brand, Xuron. Make sure to get the ones that are not serrated, or you will get marring in your wire. These two top wires will secure the gemstone. So we're going to wrap them around the bail. The bottom wire will wrap just to the back, and the top wire will loop twice around the bail to make a nice clean finish. So when you're cutting your wire, make sure you have just enough to tuck into the bail. The top wire will tuck into the bail, and the bottom one will tuck into the back between the weaving and the gemstone. So if you're familiar with my beginner-friendly pendant design with just one single stone, these wires would typically be snipped off and tucked in, but we are going to keep these and make a fishtail weave like we did on the top, going down to taper to a point. Again, don't worry about neatness too much on this part. Weaving this fishtail weave in a downward taper, the wires are going to want to move around a lot. So just be kind to yourself, be patient. Don't be too critical of this. It's going to be the back of the pendant. Here you can pause until you've reached the end, like here. And then we're going to finish with the sumac weave once again. Here's a good pausing point. You want to weave a few extra so that it's longer than your gemstone and you can lip it over. I counted 3, so I'm going to place my pliers on the 5th spot. And that little extra weaving will keep your gemstone secure. If you didn't have that extra little bit of weaving, when you separate these 2 wires, they would split and your gemstone would slip out. So this here will give you a point to work with. So on the top wires, I started with the right and then put the left on top. So on this one, I'm going to start with the left and put the right on top. It just makes it a little more aesthetically pleasing, I think. And remember to leave yourself a little bit extra so that we can tuck these wires into the back. And we're done. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for following along.